diverse places.
Right, so you're going to have famines and pestilence in diverse places. Now you have some countries that have experienced famine and they're still experiencing famine, like Venezuela. They're going through Jacob's trouble. I mean, I don't know if they're still going through. I don't know what's going on with them right now. We're going to have to kind of recap on what's going on in Venezuela, but they've experienced famines. But a famine is going to happen worldwide. It's going to be a worldwide famine. We're going to experience a global decline of the economy. Okay, go on, brother.
It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Right, and then you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. What does that mean? Meaning they're going to publicate us on the media as terrorists. Okay, as the extreme bad guys that got to be put in jail or certain facilities or pretty much a concentration camp. So that's going to take place as well. So these things are an indication of us being in the latter times. Now when YAHAWASHI was on the scene, that's when the latter times begun. But now we're at the end of the latter times. Why? Because of what was expounded to the disciples coming from YAHAWASHI. And that's how we're able to know what time we're living in as well. Go on, bro. Because it wasn't given to us to know the exact time or date when the Messiah was going to return. But we know what the Lord has given us clues. Go on.
Oh, no, that's the Moabite.
Yeah, that's a straight up Moabite right there. No flavor, man. Nothing.
Sauce.
So,
Verse 10.
and that's who's going to be building your homes, brother.
That's right.
He's going to be building your walls and shit.
No dog.
That's his it ain't going to be no dog in the dinner table. That's right. Fuck that shit. Fuck that, man.
Yeah, verse 10, and it says, and there shall be many offended, and they shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
Right. I'll tell you what, brother, can you look up for me how many Christians on the earth?
I'll look at
2 billion.
Yeah. 2 point some billion. Go on, bro.
We're talking about prophecies here. So this is Sirach 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied...
Let him finish that.
I'll start again. Sirach 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecy.
Right, and he just be occupied in prophecy. So what meditating on these words, that's what we do day to day.
What's it called?
Sirach 39 and 1.
As we do day to day, we figure out the prophecies, and then we go watch what is news, and we see these things take place, and we find out that the prophecies that is spoken of in the scriptures is now coming into full effect. Some of them anyway. We're just going into the major prophecies. Anyway, read that. Read what you got.
This is on Wikipedia. Adherence estimates.
The A1 and 1.
In 2012. So the number one adherence of any religion is Christianity, and the adherence is 2.4 billion, and they make up 33% of the world population.
So let's read that exact precept again.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
Right, it says many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. The many, as the brother described to you, 2.4 billion people that are Christians. And you have another 2 million, so like you have another 2 million that are Muslims. And the ultimate false prophet that have deceived many is the Roman Catholic institution. They're responsible for people becoming Christians and Muslims at the same time. Let's get that in Revelation 19.
Revelation chapter 19. Here we go. Revelation chapter 19, verse 19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse.
Right, which is the EU. Go on.
And against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him.
Right, and the false prophet that wrought miracles before him. So the the main false prophet that's coming out of the beast, which is stationary in Rome, is the Roman Catholic institution that deceived many by their miracles. Because you got these pastors that perform miracles and shit like that to deceive the mass of the people that truly believe that what they got and speaking about is the truth, when it's not the truth. Really what it is, they're using sorcery and witchcraft. Come on, bro.
Back in Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
And that's what's happening already. That what the brother just read is happening already. This word is being preached throughout the four corners of the earth for a witness. So that people don't get too simple when all hell breaks loose. And they say to themselves, well, I didn't know. You did know because we were all over the YouTube.
That's right.
All right? Like I remember going back years ago when me and the water, we was teaching in Brixton, this American dude came up and he said how he was sort of like nervous or scared, something to that effect he was saying, because he found out that the Israelites, not only are they in America, but they're also in England too. So you got certain Edomites that's got some kind of sense. They're a bit wareful or kind of scared of what's going on. Which goes back to Revelations, the 11th chapter. Okay?
And Stamford Hill, with the Akim down in Stamford Hill, yeah? The camp down in Stamford Hill that Volcam Malone was covering it.
Right.
An area that I know very well, right? A guy that I used to, back in the day on road, we used to hang and I actually lived around there for a little while.
Okay.
And I know the area well, I know the Sainsbury's and everything. But he said to me, because we was like partners in crime, and he said to me, he mentioned the name. I said, yeah, I know the guy, I was with him. And he said, yeah, that man, he probably got a mark from them. Okay. Even though they're a bit off, you know what I'm saying? But he was describing them, and Volcam Malone was saying that a lot of the Jewish people walking up and down was in fear. That's why they was calling the police, and the police came by. No arrest was made, but basically they saw it because you know it's a crime watch area for the Amalekites.
Yeah.
So that's why every time they saw them, it was calling the police, telling them to keep an eye on them on CCTV and everything.
Because there was the article. That's what it says.
Yeah. So and I know the area very well. You know, I wasn't brought up around there, but I lived around there for a little while. So even though they was doing it at a rebellion, people got marked that I know because I know the area, and they came up to me and said, yeah, you know, and I said, yeah, I know that man there. Now I'm on the next thing now, you know. But he done something that he doesn't know he done something, you know.
And I mean, and I'm gonna say this as well. You know, them brothers, man. You know, they doing anything. You know what I mean? I ain't got no animosity towards them dudes, man. You know what I mean? It's just something that the leader did, and the way he left the camp, you know, it wasn't right. You know, he could have dealt with it in a different situation. But the point of the matter is that you got the men of the law that are out there pushing the work, and they're making an impact on this earth, in this society, and it's making people go nuts. It's making people start to think. Even the people that are proclaimed, you know, educated in theology and what have you, they're now starting to realize and think that maybe what we're saying is true in the back of their mind. So so when the preppers come back on the scene, people are put into a state of fear, okay? Especially those that are learned and people that's got some kind of sense. Go on, man.
When I first started watching the videos years ago, I don't really remember Christians and theologians coming up to the apostles, but now it's like each week there's a new theologian, new pastor coming up.
Yeah, because you got these guys that study in theology, or they went to some kind of seminary school, what have you. They're coming up against us now because they see what we're saying is true. They probably studied us before they even came on the scene, but they're seeing everything fall into fruition, what we're saying, and the powers that be, okay, that's controlling them, they're sending them against us, because they're really nothing but agents anyway. Yeah, the agents sent towards us to try to disannualize what we're saying, but it's not. You can't refute this.
Volcam Malone, because Hebrew Israelism or something like that.
Yeah, Hebrew Israelism, we call it.
Yeah. Hebrew Israelism. Basically, he called it the fastest growing group in America, man.
Yeah.
Because this thing is like it's like a wildfire now, man. going out hot and heavy every single day.
Yeah, and that's why they have this, what is this Jude, I believe it's called Project Jude program or something like that, Jude 3 project, where there's a program that's set up to the point where what they want to do is they want to try and merge Jake back into Christianity and to explain more in depth what Christianity is, because you got a lot of these young Jakes that are walking out of the Christian churches. So you got this thing called the Jude 3 project, if I'm saying it correctly, that's trying to do that job, because like the brother's saying, they see Jake just waking up to being an Israelite. Alright? And you better believe that the powers that be that's running these agents provocateurs, or these agents, they're shooting bricks, man.
That's right.
They're shooting themselves. And that's even a part of the prophecy too. Anyway, who was reading it? Okay, go on.
That's why they put Kanye in that church.
Right. To bring Jake back into that slave plantation Christianity. Go on.
Anyways, Matthew 24 and verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
Right, and everybody is being a witness towards what we're teaching. Everybody is, even these theologians and even also these celebrities as well. Like Snoop Dogg, this simpleton Snoop Dogg was on Breakfast Club 105, I believe it is, talking about how he's an Israelite and all of this other stuff. Okay, fair enough, you know you're Israelite, so why don't you contribute to the Israelites that are teaching the word? They're not going to do that because they're agents anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Snoop Dogg is an agent. That's why he did that video, to poke fun at us, so that people don't take us too seriously. But people are already taking us seriously anyway. Okay. Go on, bro.
And it says, and then shall the end come, when he therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place.
I tell you what, brother, drop that and get me the scripture where it says, when this gospel shall be teaching all over the world, when shall the end come.
That's the same one I said. It says Matthew 24, verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
And then shall the end come, and that's why we're fastly approaching the end. And I mean, you brothers, I know that you brothers have noticed this. The time is moving real quick, man. Time is moving fast.
2019, we're in October, well, September's about to be over. October, that's what now? 3 months to Christmas?
Right.
23 months more, it's over, man. Halloween is next month.
Yeah.
You know, Christmas, yeah, it's over. 2020. You know.
And I remember we just came into 2019. Now we just coming out of 2019 now. So it's like time just jumped from January to now we're in October now. So that's showing you that the Most High is speeding up the times for the sake of the elect. Okay, brother, if you can continue to read on with that, had something there.
Yeah. It's at Revelation 11 and it says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them.
Yep.
And they stood upon their feet.
And they stood upon their feet. The 3.5 years that this is talking about, it's talking about 350 years. It was that from 1619 or 20 all up to 1970 or 69, and that's when the truth kind of came in. When our biggest came on the scene, he brought the truth. All right, and then it kind of linked all the way down to High Priest Ariah, then Ariah spewed out the truth to the men that's over us right now. All right, so that's how this truth has woken us up to the point where we're standing upon our feet. Go on.
And it says, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them and saw them.
Fear fell upon them that saw them. Your theologists, okay, even the banking elite, and the people that's got some kind of sense or they know something. Great fear fell upon them. And why is it that great fear fell upon them? Because they worried about two things. They worried about the uprising of Jacob, and also they have to also worry about the coming of the Messiah. And this is why Donald Trump and them, they're trying to get prepared for some space war that they're gonna get involved in real soon. Because the elites know that their time is up. They're looking down on earth and seeing the estate of Jacob and how many Jakes are waking up to being Israelites, and they're also looking into the skies above and seeing what's going up above in the heavens. And they're putting two and two together, and they're coming to realize that they're at their end. All right. You know? So yeah, continue on, brother.
That was it.
But that was it on that? All right, yeah, so go back to, yeah, read what you got.
Still in Matthew 24. Let's say Matthew 24, verse 16. Let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let them which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Yeah, this is talking about 70 AD. Yahawashi prophesied that there was going to come a time where the Jews were going to be besieged by the Roman government. Because what you had was you had wars that was being fought between the two nations. You had a lot of zealots, you had a lot of Israelites that were zealots that were coming up against Rome. All right, and it got to the point where Rome was just like, you know, we're gonna fight these people and we're gonna take over. So that's what this prophecy is leading up to. Well, I mean, speaking of. So, you know, when you read Matthew 24, it kind of jumps. It jumps from the current prophecies to the previous prophecies. That's why you can't read the Bible like a novel book, because then you'll get confused and you'll get lost. Go on, bro.
Jumps to verse 29, and it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light,
Right.
and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Yep, and that's exactly what's going to take place. And what he's really referring to is Zephaniah 1 and 14. Somebody get me Zephaniah 1 and 14. Because when you see the brothers standing on high teaching this word, that's an indication of the day of the Lord soon to come. And that's why the powers that be, they're preparing that. They're trying to stop these little minions or agents to stop this word from going out. But it's going to continue to go out because this is all set up and sanctioned by the Heavenly Father. Go on, bro. Matter of fact, brother, yeah, give me that Acts 5th chapter. Acts 5 and start from verse 30. Who you got? 1 and 14, yeah.
Zephaniah 1 and 14, and it says,
the
great day of the Lord is near. It is near. It hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
And really, when you check it out, what he was saying, Zephaniah was really prophesying about now. Because now, the time that we're living in right now, we're nigh towards the coming of the day of the Lord. All right, that's all I have to say on that. Continue on, brother.
And it says, verse 15, that day is the day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasterness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and an alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers.
And against the high towers. So in other words, this is something that Matthew was speaking about. Yahawashi was talking about. The day of the Lord. Which is going to be a day of, in other words, just to encompass what was being said, a day of despair. And Yahawashi is going to come in the midst of all of that. So when you see drama amongst the people, and martial law being declared, and also drama amongst the government and the people, let me put it that way, that's when Yahawashi is going to intervene, and then you're going to have this nuclear war that's going to bring us about at the same time. Okay? Which is known as the day of the Lord. The day of dread. Go on.
This is the book of Acts chapter 5, verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it.
Right, if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. Because this is not of men, this is of a divine order. Okay, this thing was ordered by the divine. And this is why mankind in the physical realm cannot stop what we're doing. This can't be stopped. Because this is a part of the counsel of the Lord. This is the counsel of the Lord. Alright, that's being erected to bring in the kingdom. So they continue on with that.
And it says, lest haply ye be found even to fight against the Most High.
Yeah, and that's what these guys are doing, these agents of theology of some sort, okay, or every sort, when it comes to religion and studying and knowing of the Most High and everything. What they're doing is without them realizing, because they just think that because they're carnal. Esau is carnal naturally. So in their mind, they think that we're just regular black geezers that's spewing out this doctrine, right? but there's no divine power behind it. But there is a divine power behind it, because if this wasn't the divine power, group, which is what we are, or council, then we would have been destroyed by now.
That's right.
We should have been destroyed a long time ago. Even when they made that line and said, oh, GMS, they talk about raping little girls and all this other stuff, we should have been taken down over on now. Okay, there's been brothers, older brothers, brothers that have put their years in, that have got arrested, and now all of a sudden they back on the street. So why are these things happening to the point where we're being cast down, but we're still standing up? Because this is a part of the counsel of the Lord that's going to overstand. All right? Because this was set up by divine order. All right? You can't stop what divine order has in store.
Right.
And that's what Vocab and them and James White the Edomite and them are going to realize.
Yeah.
Go on, bro.
Matthew 16 and 18, and it says, and I say also unto
Last
thee,
precept, give me Proverbs 19 and 21. Go on, bro.
and I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock will I build my church,
Exactly.
and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Yeah. And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So this is something that what we have cannot be distorted. It cannot be destroyed. All right. Yeah. So read the last precept.
This is Proverbs 19 and 21, and it says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, YAHAWASHI,
Look at the word devices. The word devices goes back to the word thoughts in the Hebrew. Matter of fact, brother, look up the word device in the Hebrew. For sure.
19, read that again, and it says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand.
Right. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. So anything that is a part of the Lord's counsel, that's what's going to stand. It tells you that in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Whatever the Lord doeth, it is done forever. There's no adding to it, but there's no taking away. So let's read this now. Let's go to the definition.
It's the word for devices. This is Strong's H4283, and the word is mahashabah.
Okay.
And the definition is thought, device, plan, purpose, invention.
Right, thoughts or plans or purpose. So whatever thought that people have against us, whoever they may be, from a slave level or to a higher level, whatever negative thought comes before us, it's not going to alter us, because, like I'm going to say again, this thing that we have is structured by the Almighty, YAHAWASHI. So that's what we have to say, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakam,
and double honors to the apostles as well. And salute to the Optimists. Pushing this truth, keep pushing this truth. We almost home. We get the hell out of here. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.